For more than 12 years, people spend their life inside education system. They learn mathematics, they learn science, they memorize thousands of facts. But there's one important thing almost nobody is taught: how to question authority. And once you start noticing it, you start to view your society very differently. Many of the institutions that shape our lives don't just provide us information, they quietly shape how we think about the world itself. Two institutions play an enormous role in this process: our education system and modern media. Individually, they might seem harmless, but together, they influence how millions of people perceive reality. Let's talk education. In my opinion, education should do one thing above all else. It should teach people how to think clearly. Now take a look at how most schools operate today. Students sit in a row. They follow rigid schedules. They memorize information for standardized tests. And highest reward usually goes to the student who gives expected answers. Now think honestly and tell me, will this system train curiosity or compliance? Historically, many of these modern schooling systems were developed in 18th century to create disciplined and reliable citizens. And this model was working fantastic, but it had an unintended side effect. After spending more than a decade in this system, students who were graduating, they were familiar with how to follow the instructions, but not necessarily how to challenge them. Now add another powerful influence: modern media. Every day we are exposed to thousands of opinions, narratives, news. But the most powerful influence of modern media is not always false information. It's something more subtle: selective information. Which stories are to be published, which voices are to be amplified, and which perspectives are to be ignored quietly. Media systems often shape public opinion by defining boundaries of acceptable debate. Inside those boundaries, discussions are encouraged, but outside those, certain questions are rarely asked. Now combine these two forces: an education system that rarely rewards deep questioning, and an information system that shapes which questions are to be highlighted. So what do you get? Not a population of fools, but something far more complex. A population of intelligent and hardworking people who rarely stop to question the larger system around them. Most powerful systems in the history rarely rely on force. They rely on something far more easier: assumptions. As long as most people believe that the system is functioning correctly, system rarely need to justify itself. But history shows us something fascinating. Almost all major intellectual breakthroughs came from people who did something uncomfortable. They questioned ideas which everyone else accepted. They questioned institutions that seemed permanent. They questioned authority, not out of rebellion, but out of curiosity. They understood one plain simple truth: that consensus does not equal truth. A healthy society does not require everyone to reject the authority, but it does require something far more important: citizens who are capable of independent thought. Most dangerous system is not the one which controls people through usage of force. It is the one where people rarely feel the need to question it. And the moment curiosity disappears, freedom slowly disappears with it. This raises a simple but uncomfortable question. In a world overflowing with information, are we becoming better thinkers or simply better followers?